tight. Guard the doors both day and night. Passwords strong like shields of gold. Love and wisdom shared in bold. Protect our circle, keep it clear. Online shadows lurking near. Guard your fire, don't let it slip. Family strong with cyber tips. Fishing lines in waters deep. Don't let them pull what you keep. Links they shine, but traps they weave. Trust your heart, don't be deceived. Protect our circle, keep it clear. Online shadows lurking near. Guard your fire, don't let it slip. Family strong with cyber tips. Every click we take, be wise. See through all their clever eyes.
Have you ever handed your child a tablet just to get through dinner and then realized it became a daily habit? You're not alone. But here's the danger. When tech becomes a babysitter, parenting becomes passive. Hi, everyone. I'm Lawrence, your host of Family Cyber Tips Weekly. Every Monday, we empower families to thrive in a digital world. Today, we're addressing something honest and tough. The moment screens start parenting our kids more than we do. Like we used to do in the daily, the weekly is no different. We're just going to explore and look at several areas, okay? So that you will get value from our episode today, all right? So we're going to look first and foremost at the quiet shift, okay? The quiet shift. You hand them your phone in the supermarket. You let Netflix autoplay while you cook. Suddenly, your child is spending hours being shaped, not by you, but by algorithms, okay? Some red flags that we definitely have to look out for. Let's look at those, okay? Your child turns to tech during emotional moments. You know, they're bored, angry, and lonely. First thing they're looking to grab is tech. That's a red flag. It's one that you have to actively be watching or looking out for, okay? Another red flag, you feel relief when they're plugged in because it gives you peace. That is a disaster, you know? And I'm not ignoring the fact that as parents, we can get really tired. And that's just the body saying, I can't do any more. The reason why it's a red flag is because you can't just ignore it. If you don't have the energy or you don't have the desire to sow or invest in your child's digital awareness or upbringing, then that's a red flag. Something has to give. Possibly you have to review what you're doing that gets you that tired, etc. I'm not going to go into that because that's a totally different lane. On a digital front, we just see it as a red flag when you feel so satisfied, so free, so relieved when your kids are plugged in because it gives you peace. That is not normal. As relieving or as uplifting as it may be, it's a red flag that we must deal with, okay? Another would be you struggle to connect without a screen in the mix. That's our world today, which is really frightening, you know, that we feel we're not really living unless we connect, unless there's a screen we're looking at, that we're missing out, the FOMO thing, you know? And that's why many keep hold of their smartphones because they're afraid of missing out on gang, you know? So these are red flags that you must watch out for. And once you see them, action is required, okay? Don't ignore it. Let's look at another area. The call to reclaim. Okay. By the way, this was inspired by an excerpt from another engagement I had, and I thought I would give this body just to expand it because questions were coming, and it makes sense. Like I often say, address the issue with a live or with an episode so that others, apart from the 2 or 3 who reached out, will gain from it. Okay. But there's a call to reclaim. A call to reclaim. Parenting isn't about perfection. Okay? It's about presence. And I think I hinged on this last time out. It's about being there. It's about being available, qualitative time. So it's not about you being the perfect dad, perfect mom. It's you being there with them. So you can start with short, screen-free zones, in the house, during meals, car rides, when you're out and about, and then bedtime. You know this drill. We've spoken about screen-free zones enough times. The overlap is intentional, okay? Another would be to replace tech time with people time. This is rare in 2025. Only God knows what is going to be in the years, even months ahead. Okay, so people time will always trump tech time. I might be a minority, but as believers, the more time we spend on tech reduces the amount of virtue that we receive from ironing, sharpening iron. Okay, so replace tech time with people time with storytelling, so you don't think it's just in one direction. Storytelling. Prayer, play, offline play, or just sitting together. That is so valuable. I've heard it often said that at times your friend or your acquaintances receive so much value from you if you just sit down with them and shut up. Of course, it's a digression from tech time, but I know that many treasure silently being there. Some folks really, really enjoy that. But in the context of our video today, just replace tech time with something else. I've suggested people time with people, storytelling, prayer, play, or just being there. Sit down and be there. Okay? The last thing that I believe will allow you redeem the time, the time that you ought to have as a human being, Homo sapien, is use tech together. Okay? So if you, rather than go solo, use tech together, and you'll find that a lot can be, regained or reclaimed. All right? Use tech together, watch movies together. So co-watch, co-play, and even co-disciple. Okay? Just a bonus point would be talk about what they are watching. Because the focus is on the kids. Talk about what they're watching. Ask them what they think. And be the voice louder than the screen. Not the other way around where the volume on the TV is so loud that you can barely hear each other. And some parents accept that as status quo. No, that's not the right thing to do. So we've got to go back to what it used to be. Yes, I dream, but it is possible. Okay? Let's now look at practical tips. I know you've been waiting for that because others were just suggestive. It's okay, but these are practical tips I'll send your way. Set a daily tech curfew. Okay? Curfew would mean absence of. So set a daily tech curfew, which will mean no tech. Okay? It is possible with the appropriately aged kids. And don't start this when they're well into their years as teenagers, because this will backfire supremely. But as appropriately applied, on ages, I'll say from 5 to say 11, 12 even. And most kids are compliant anyway. And so it will work. You know your child more than anybody else. Don't force this on a child who is 18 or 13 going on 18, as they say. All right. That will be the first practical tip. Then the second will be to create a parenting anchor moment. You know, an example will be one 15-minute screen-free session daily. It's the least you can ask. Might as well, okay? Try faith-based family apps. That should be a thing, okay? Just try that, you know, like Bible app for kids. That will certainly do your young ones a lot of good. We've mentioned Dwell, a portal that will also do them a lot of good. Okay? Or pray as you go. So many as you go things in our world today, but these are things necessary. And of course, they will be practically valuable to your young ones. So I want you to, you know, explore them. Now, before we close out, I want to be very, very transparent as I was. We have upgraded or migrated or transitioned from a daily show to a weekly show. And it was painful. You know, having done it for so long, every day, you get used to it. And I felt there was this little guilt trip. Oh, who is suffering whilst I'm not speaking? And I know that that's not consistent with how we folks, by we I mean Christians, should think. Because God goes ahead and does his thing. We are just participants, you know, willing, I hasten to add. So it's important that I got out of that space. Rather than the guilt trip, I focused my energy on making sure that whatever it is I'm going to be presenting in that span will involve a lot of research, like I mentioned in the last video. Okay? So I'm thankful to those who have been supporting, either by, you know, acknowledging the value and wishing me well and all that. And that can be, that was noticed in the viewership of the last video where I explained it. And I got some comments. So it's important that I said that it wasn't a joy to do it. The only joy was that I was now spending more time with my family, and it was instant. And I bless God for that, okay? So it's weekly. Just make sure you adjust your calendar. It's weekly every Monday at 6 p.m. Today, there were some technical issues that I had to address, hence the reason for the late start. But it is 6 p.m. If you're the live show type, and I want you to be here with me live so that we can chat, if possible, you know, that would be nice too. So 6 p.m. every Monday, I'll be here waiting for your engagement whilst I share the episode anyway, okay? Thank you for your prayers and your continued support. Parenting isn't about shielding kids from the world. It's about guiding them through it, okay? Tech isn't the enemy. I always have to stress that. The way I make tech look, some may think that I hate tech. No, I love tech. I use tech. Everything I'm doing to get this show to you is tech driven. So tech isn't the enemy. Disconnection, however, really is. Reclaim intentional parenting. That's your God-given responsibility. No one can take that from you. No one should. One choice, one moment, and one reset at a time, okay? I've been your host this evening. And again, my name is Lawrence Edem. Yeah. Till next week, Monday, on Family Cyber Tips Weekly. God bless and goodbye.